Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, Kampala. Welcome to UBC TV. Good morning, Uganda Extra. On this 27th day, and this is the last Monday of this year, 2021. Merry Christmas to all of you, and we thank God that you celebrated your Christmas. For all of you who are still alive by today, it's another blessing and honor to say thank you, Lord, for the gift of life. We thank you for being with us yet again here on UBC TV. With me in studios this morning is the resident city commissioner for Jinja City, Mr. Cheyune Senyonjo. You're very welcome, RCC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jagenda Semakula Ambassador. Good morning to all of you viewers. Allow me use this opportunity to salute the people with whom we govern Jinja City. That includes His Worship, the Mayor Kasoro, and his council, the division.
Is he the one called Swengere?
Yes, he is known by that one.
The Swengere.
In the world of drama.
In the world of drama.
Yes.
Mayor Kasoro.
Mayor Kasoro. Now then, a very good man, Mayor Kasoro, I salute you. The division mayors of the north and the south and their council, the town clerk, and all the technical officers in Jinja City, the members of the City Security Committee that I head, that includes intelligence officers, the military, the police, all the GISOs, I salute you all, the LC1s, LC2, and all members of the judiciary. I thank you very much that we are coming to the end of the year, and we have so far moved smoothly, save for a few differences here and there, which we are struggling to ameliorate.
Okay.
But of course, the people that we govern cannot be forgotten, especially the law-abiding residents in Jinja City. Of course, we have got a section of people who are criminals by nature and practice, and we are saying, we are watching you, and we shall come for you.
Okay. Thank you very much, RSCC. We also went through Christmas over the weekend on Saturday. But before we get into the Christmas fete and, of course, the many things that happen elsewhere, let's remember Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, who also now has gone and no longer with us. Tutu has been a very controversial person to so many others. Tutu has also been a very religious man to so many others. Tutu has been a human rights defender to so many others. Everybody remembers Desmond Tutu in their own way. From the Pan-African angle, let me hear one or two thoughts from you about the now late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu.
Yeah, rest in peace, Desmond Tutu. But he leaves a legacy of a liberation strugglist, a Pan-Africanist, as you are saying, a man of a black champion. I came to know about this bishop when I was in secondary school. And it was, I was watching a film in the home of Captain Chiwanuka Semakula in Cheva, and where I grew up. And in that film, it was about Mandela, and of course, it featured Desmond Tutu. As I continued to grow in academic terms and even age, I read more and heard more about Desmond Tutu, and he cannot be forgotten, especially in as far as the liberation of the black race and the fight for equality of humanity in South Africa and Africa in general are concerned. So we pay tribute, but the duty that we have, we who live now and will continue to live, is to study more about this bishop and his colleagues and emulate. Problem comes when a person of that stature passes away. These days I hear people say pass on. So, and then we wail, we cry, we speak very nice things, but we make no effort to emulate even a single character item of this kind of people. So I think the best tribute that we can make to a fallen hero like Desmond Tutu, the Mandela and so on, is to pick, even if it is one item. I have been, I've always utilized Chango Macho. And I said, so for me, I pick a few things about Chango Macho, and that's the only way I can continue to remember and honor Chango Macho.
To a man like Desmond Tutu, of course, I was watching TVs last night, especially the South African SABC. And of course, was much to talk about Desmond Tutu for who he was, his struggles, the fight against apartheid, and quite a number of things. And even lawyers also attribute lots of his Ubuntu principles. They actually refer to him as one of the fathers of the Ubuntu principles in their justice system, reconciliation, and quite a number of those. But today, now, Desmond goes at 90 years. Do we have Desmond Tutus in this country or in Africa? Apart from Desmond Tutu now, who are the other now living Desmond Tutus? Let's remember him in just a couple of minutes. Then, of course, we get into the Christmas fete.
You see, we would, but we need to understand that the circumstances under which the Tutus lived and operated are quite different from the current times. The focus of our struggles today as Africa are different. These are post-liberation struggles, which should be focused on unifying the states where we live, charting ways for development, and so on and so forth. Uniting the continent where others like Nkrumah failed or stopped. And now, and the enemy that we face today is basically different. One can talk about in general terms that today we face neo-colonial enemy. But the ones that the Nkrumahs, the Tutus, the Mandelas, the Nyereres faced
was a different one.
Very little enemy. Because these are whites, self-invited, grabbers, invaders, terrorists. Actually, these were the first terrorists that Africans came to interface with. Who, like now in the case of South Africa, they persuaded their minds and acted as such that this part of the world was theirs. And they even regarded the other human beings as not human beings. That's why apartheid came, and it is unfortunate that the Tutus are passing away before total liberation is achieved. We are yet to see total liberation, not only in Africa, in South Africa, but also in the entire continent of Africa. Now in South Africa, where the Tutus fought against apartheid, we still have elements of apartheid.
Exactly.
So
those still suffer.
Yes, talk about land alienation. Who are the landed aristocrats there? Are they the blacks or the whites? Who are the rich? Who are the people dominating the education system? Who are the people who enjoy land rights? Who enjoy business opportunities? Those who are rich, who are they? Are they the whites or the blacks. So, and how much has been covered in regard to reversing those evils of the apartheid regime.
Okay. Let's conclude with the Ubuntu, the Ubuntu philosophy, the Ubuntu principle, the principles of love, the Ubuntu basically, that humanity. When the Tutus, of course, are now passing on, they're going that generation of the Desmond Tutus. Now we lost all the Steve Bantu Bikos, we lost Chris Hannis, we lost Reginald Oliver Tambo, we lost all these, Nelson Mandela, Madiba, quite a number of those. If you actually want to talk about them, the Sobukwes and every other. When you even just look at those old South African nationalists who propagated and who had this Ubuntu principles of spirit with them, does Ubuntu still, is it still relevant to us today? When you look at the way we manage our issues, do we still even have the Ubuntu in our present day Africa? I will not even talk about Uganda.
It is very, very relevant. But the question is it reclaimable? Can we reclaim? Can we revive? Because the Ubuntu is not very different from what in Buganda is known as Ubuntu Bulamu. Ubuntu Bulamu, Empisa, Enono, values in English, values. It's about those inherent African values, the values of mutual respect, love, and so on, as you have mentioned. Now, over time, the cost of imperialism or colonialism continues to be very, very high. And the Ubuntu you are talking about and the values of the Africa that define the African are lost because of that interaction, that accidental interaction. And then it gets worse when you have got leadership at various levels. It can be in academic, it can be in religious terms, it can be in civil terms, leadership that pay glowing tribute to foreigners or whites, and also think the way the Europeans came here and thought that they were in the upper level of life, and then the others did not matter. So likewise, if you have leadership in Africa where instead of respecting ourselves, we respect the white man and what he stands for, then the Ubuntu continues to be in danger.
Okay.
And it is unfortunate.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we will find more time and talk about Desmond Tutu, who is gone, but of course, there's so many things that Desmond Tutu stood for. Of course, to some people, he was also controversial to some people, South Africans and the rest of Africans, and I think this is actually what characterizes all of us. You can't be on that straight path forever and say whatever.
Yeah, there is a negative part.
Exactly,
Yes.
And of course, you can't say everybody will follow and toe your line. But somehow you get somewhere where people will look at you from a different angle. Away from that, Mr. RSS, now let's get to Christmas, the excitement that we had. Now back to the Christmas fete. We were, of course, put on security alert by security forces. And by the grace of God, we have not heard of any bad security incident during this period of Christmas. At least on Christmas Day and maybe the other day, we had, I think there was one in a neighboring country, in Congo, where I think either on the 24th on Christmas Day itself, where there was a bomb blast in some bar somewhere. There was an attack somewhere in one of the districts neighboring Uganda. But that's the other side. In Congo, we had of something like that. In 2016, there was a Christmas attack to some people, some revelers in Germany. We saw that also happen a few days building to Christmas. And of course, this time, by the grace of God, we haven't had heard of any like that. We wait to hear from the police spokesperson, Mr. Fred Enanga. During his press conferences, of course, will tell us a few of these things that happen here and there. You are the head of security in Jinja City. Let's know how Christmas was celebrated in that city and quite a number of things before we get to the other events that, of course, were elsewhere, where we saw glaringly that COVID SOPs were breached, and it just said lots of things about our response and fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yesterday, 26, we convened a special security committee meeting.
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Sunday 26.
Yes. I called, I summoned all the members, and I'm happy they came. We were there. We said, Ajay. Now, and I want to thank the police. They gave a report indicating that we did not register any serious incident in terms of security. That on the whole, we enjoyed peaceful, secure, stable time of the celebrations. A few days to Christmas, I called the press conference in Jinja City, where we warned that COVID-19 was still around and actually was on the rise because new cases had been recorded in the city. And by that time, we had recorded a total of 22 new cases, and these had been established in only 3 days, between 20th and 23rd of December. So
the new variant?
We can't tell.
You don't know?
We can't tell.
Okay. But new cases, yes.
Those are cases, COVID, because it is all COVID.
It's all COVID.
But we were told that whatever is found positive is supposed to be sent to the Virus Institute to check the varianticity of that test and the finding. Now, and then the other thing, we warned that we would not tolerate violations of COVID-19, especially in regard to opening and going to bars. Because bars are the worst gatherings as far as I'm concerned.
You didn't allow bars to open on Christmas?
No.
How did people celebrate Christmas without having time to go to the bars to drink some beer?
No, because the evil ones, the disobedient ones,
found their ways.
opened, and then the drunkards entered.
And they locked themselves in.
Actually, yesterday I asked a question that how does a drunkard end in the bar? Is it the drunkard who opens the bar?
Or the owner of the bar?
Or the owner. So we must go for the owner. Because in the previous, under normal circumstances, the bar should have closed as early as when the president directed. Now what I got there is that the bars open, then a bit, then what? No. They should have closed the way I saw the Chibuye-Makinde road. I passed there last week. Curiosity took me there. Say, what is, because I knew that place as a drunkard's place and Poco eater's place. Now you can no longer see that there is this bar. I only saw saloons, shops, pharmacies, those kind of. I said, this place has transformed into
where
something.
The bars?
Where are the bars? Because these bars were, I think, opening in the morning. That's what the no bar rule meant. Now, we warned them and said, if we get you, we shall arrest you, and so on. But of course, it was not only the bar owners, it was on a general scale. Specifically, the worshippers, those who worship. You know, Saturday was the 25th, and that brought in even the SDAs. Those who
all
are,
Christians of worship.
yes, we are
the
there.
SDS
Yes.
were fellowshipping, and all Christmas worshippers also. Yes.
So we told them that even if Jesus, you say Jesus was born on this day and you must go there, make sure you don't overcrowd and wear masks, wash. So I'm glad I'm getting reports that some people observed, especially putting on masks in the churches, and even washing, and even checking for security purposes. I think some of those churches are very conscious of what we have been telling them. But what they failed to observe was the issue of social distance. Because even pagans who have not been attending the church now want to go there, maybe to repent or to show people that they are existing. I don't know why, but they went there. But I had warned that if you don't always go to the church, don't go there, because you are going to overcrowd the place. So, but that did not stop us arresting some of those wrong elements. In fact, I think we released them yesterday, or they are being released today. Those who were arrested on 25th. So that was because of violating or disobeying the rule on no bar.
Okay.
And we want even to use, let me use this opportunity to warn that those who are planning this and that, until government reverses that decision. We are even getting firmer, because I've been seeing loopholes here and there. That's why we had a meeting. I've told you yesterday. We sacrifice, people sacrifice the rest and so on. I said let's meet, and they came, especially officers of police and the military who are there, trying to make sure that the city is calm and law-abiding.
Okay. Well, let me ask my producer to give us this footage. Robert Kirabonyonyitono used it in Good Morning Uganda earlier today of how people celebrated their Christmas. Now, these are some of the parts of places, and well, this is footage that was recorded by somebody using their phone, and this is partly how people were celebrating Christmas. Shopping, moving back and forth. Just want us to observe and see whether we are, because I want to see where we are in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. You'll notice that we are gaining numbers in as far as vaccination is concerned, which is actually a very good thing, that people have decided to go get vaccinated wherever they can find the vaccines, which is a very good signal going forward. Now, yet again, we are also receiving information now coming in from the Ministry of Health, telling us how our numbers are rising. We had our positivity rate at, I think, 2 or 3%. That has risen now to 14% positivity rate. The virus is actually also gaining traction amongst the population, increasing so fast. Now, let's get here. These, you even do not know. Every age is there. Every age is there. People were celebrating. They are in for Christmas now. I just want you to look at what is actually happening in such a place. Many of these possibly returnees from the UK, from the US, from the Arab world, where they'd possibly gone, and here is where we are. Mr. RCC, well, that's where we are. Many of the OSOPs, this does not concern them. You do not know how many are vaccinated amongst all those who are there. But of course, this is it. I had an opportunity on Christmas Day to move around, especially on Entebbe Road, starting from Chibuye up to Botanical Beach in Entebbe, seeing different spots or places where much of this interaction was. And you know, you could just get to a place, look at what is there, And you would even wonder whether we've ever had COVID in this country or even in the world, the way people were behaving and doing all the things. So we thank this person actually who shot that video on their phone to share it with us. Now that's Entebbe, if you actually noticed. That's at one of the beaches in Entebbe, one of the beaches in Entebbe. And here is where we are. Just look at that and how it's happening, let alone COVID. But because I remember there's a Christmas where we had such an incident of people drowning in Entebbe. We lost about 20 plus lives. It was, I think, actually Christmas time, Christmas or 26th about, where we had so many young Ugandans drowning in the lake in Entebbe over just issues like that. Nobody has a life jacket. It's merrymaking anyway. Mr. Rasisi, that's where we are. Tell me, what do you think?
You see, the institution called the government, where I only prefer to use the word state, because of the force that is involved, is in a place to be able to manage people, especially the wrong characters. Now,
Just look at that.
when you look at these numbers of people, I see my children there, the babies there, I get hurt.
The President Sivazukuru.
Yes. No. These are okay, but I also have mine, my children.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Our children, but the President.
But these tiny ones, these ones, the babies, those are babies really. Now I think those are those.
I think in Uganda vana kati.
Yes. Now, when you look at that, and then anybody thinking that human beings are ever rational, then it means it negates the existence of the state. Because the state comes to handle irrationality, such as what we are seeing. And so, it is unfortunate that the security forces were stopped from caning. Because these ones, you don't need to waste time arresting them. You only get them there and cane them as much as you can. That is the only solution. You get them gathered there, you cane them. Now, but for you to think that you are going to talk to those ones, you cannot speak to those ones and you make any sense to them. Because in their mind, they know what they are doing is right. And you even don't know. Some of them have smoked njaga, others have drunk beer, and they are really not in their right senses. Now, problem comes when you look at people thinking that they have a deficit in terms of merrymaking and so on. And without any iota of sense to understand how did we get here. Is it government that imagined and created this situation, or it was a necessity and a problem that government sought to mitigate? Because the intervention of government in the fight against spread of COVID-19 has bore fruits. The survival of us is a testimony to that effect. Now, but people like those who are in the water, swimming or whatever, in fact, they were not even swimming, they were just walking in the water or standing in the water or seated in the water. It shows, is just contradicting that good operation of government, where we said we must save the people. Now for them, they think that that is the way to celebrate. It is unfortunate. Maybe you are asking a character which has not believed in those things and has not participated. When we were in secondary school, we went to a beach. I think it was Hard's beach. We used to go to those beaches. Now, whenever it was time for swimming, I would go with my clothes and people would make fun of me. I would just go there to stand, to watch others. Now, I've never understood that when there is a big day, you have to lose your sense to show that you are really happy. And also the other thing, the most important thing is that when I was studying in primary school, I was taught that man's most important struggle in life must be to survive. Because life is the most important right that you must claim or must fight for. Now, I thought if human beings were rational, they would have they would understand that. But unfortunately, they don't. And that's why we must come in as government. Talking, yes, but in circumstances like that one, how much do you talk? And you talk to who? Because they are already focused on doing what they wanted to do. As you said, some of them could be foreigners. I call them foreigners because they are no longer with us here. Those who come here to sow their seeds of evil behavior. And now think that we who have obeyed the rules, the laws, the directives, are backward or we don't understand what we are doing. So, and it is about, again, self-policing. At times I pity the policemen and the women, because we expect too much from them. Say, where was the police? Now people, I think they can't even ask in this regard. Where was the police?
But where was the police? Somebody will have to ask that, and you won't stop them from asking.
But maybe police was fighting elsewhere, closing the bars.
And these are enjoying it.
And these are here. And how many are you saying there should be police everywhere? Where is that police?
And we're preparing for the opening up in January, because people are asking themselves questions. What do you start with when the economy is open? People are now on their marks, getting ready. And when we hear that shot, then we, of course, we are onto the track, starting to run and getting back into that life that has evaded us for nearly 2 years.
Do we need to open to reopen up for such people?
And
such people long ago reopened for themselves. Yes.
So the only way to
and I've been seeing,
it, yes.
I have been interacting with people who, in belief and practice, are living in an already reopened atmosphere. Maybe what will be done is to just formalize or to agree with the wrong people. Because disobedient people to fit in their conduct, which is wrong. Because a government is about standard. A government sets a standard, and that standard must be followed. It is not the people to set the agenda for us as government, because a government is assumed to know better than the people they are leading. Now, if it is about reopening, I want to say this, that if we do not reopen calculatively, we are going to lose human beings. We are going to lose people.
Should we do that calculatively, like you say?
We can do it in phases. And selecting the most important first, like schools, those aspects that are less dangerous. Because today, if you pronounce yourself, now I have told you, we are busy blocking bars in Ginger City. Suppose tomorrow they are told that they are free. It will be like a situation where an angry and hungry lion has been caged for years or months. Then you leave it free.
In one night?
Just like that. You leave it and make sure that you are free. You can imagine the kind of havoc it can wreak on people and property.
What about if there are strict instructions or orders of come to the bar with your vaccination card, and people are vaccinated to get to the bar. Like we hear, go to supermarket, you're vaccinated, go to school, you're vaccinated, go to the bar, you're vaccinated, go to church, you're vaccinated. What about if vaccination is a prerequisite for me to go to the bar to drink in Jinja? What will the RSS say or do?
First of all, who will enforce it?
Who should enforce it?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking because where is the capacity to enforce that? I have witnessed over the last 2 years, in all the places I've been, I have witnessed how it complicates the work of security officers to enforce. Many times, the RDC you have to accept to be labeled bad person, giving us pressure and what? Pressurizing. You are not realistic. You know, all those descriptions. Because you see flagrant violation. And the other thing that I've already mentioned is that it will require manpower. But is police, for instance, restricted to enforcement of SOPs? Is violation of SOPs the whole essence of criminality in the country? Because police has got to focus, police and other security agencies have got to focus on other elements of criminality. So, and then the other thing, we were told, and continue to be told, that vaccination, having gone for vaccination, is not total guarantee that you will not contract the COVID-19, but you are a bit safer in comparative terms. Now, you are safer, you have been vaccinated, you freely go to the bar, drink yourself silly, you have the disease, where do you go next? You go home to people who didn't go to the bar, or you go to the market, where people were not with you in the bar. You go to the health center, you take your children to school. In fact, that's the danger about now the schools. Because we have got irrational parents. These drunkards you see. Their parents at the same time. And we take our children to the same schools with these drunkards. You know? Now, they can pass over their disease, their COVID-19, to the children who go to interact with our children. Children of the good with the children of the evil, these drunkards, who think that they must be drunk. I was asking a question, that what is the problem? And I think even the president has been asking, why don't you go and buy your beer, even if you are capable of buying 20 crates of beer, take them home, drink from there, and in a case you are locked up, when you are drunk, you can even fall there and sleep, no problem. Because you have been told there is a danger. Having been vaccinated does not insulate you totally from contracting the COVID-19. That's the message I got. Now, since that is the case, it means that even when you are vaccinated, again, continue to behave responsibly, consciously. That's why government now, whoever is going to unlock the economy, has got to consider that. Maybe they might, because even restricting numbers is also a problem, because churches, look at the churches, we said not more than 200. In their heads, they said 200. I have been looking at applications. We are not going to exceed 200. Then you say, I take them on. Tell me, define for me, the area, your compound where you are going to host people. How is it as big as
they have a cap number of 200?
So it's not going to be,
even when they can't fit 200,
exactly,
they will say we can't exceed 200.
200.
Hold it there. We'll take a break and return shortly. Continuing with our Good Morning Uganda segment. Good Morning Uganda Extra today on this day after Christmas. It is the last Monday of 2021. We'll break off very shortly and return after this break. My name is Jagenda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
My name is Mulage Swahod from Tororo District. I'm so happy that I'm a lucky winner of the 10 million Uganda shillings man after money promotion with Airtel. I can't believe it. It's just like I've been reborn. It's the best day of my life.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Well, it's just 2:15 at 10 o'clock. My name is Jagana Semakola Ziksoko on GME Extra on this 27th day of December in this year 2021 with the RCC Resident City Commissioner for Jinja City, Mr. Chene Senyonyo, of course, looking into the events that we have had over the Christmas season or Christmas period and just getting into those. Mr. Chene Senyonyo, of course, we're celebrating Christmas, we're getting into the end of year festivities, but yet again, we've been talking to people, talking to parents, talking to teachers, talking to school proprietors on how they intend to get going when schools reopen on the 11th of January. Now they're just counting days and we've tried to ask from them and to know how prepared they are. How about you now, law enforcers, RCCs, RDCs, and the others, police, how prepared are you for the reopening of the economy? Away from the revelers now, away from the traders, away from the churchgoers, away from we who want to go back to business, who want to go back to class, who want to go back into our social lives. How about you, the enforcers, when it comes to reopening the economy in January, a few days from now? How prepared are you for that time?
What we are getting prepared for specifically is education institutions. I have convened a number of meetings to share my thoughts and to learn from the technical officers, health officers, education officers, and others, because that is, I think, the most important of all these that we are talking about. For the bars, concerts, because there are these concerts, and those are, some of them are very dangerous people in terms of behavior.
Because when the economy is reopened, of course, nightlife will resume. There will be no more curfew. We'll be dancing in the night, drinking in the night, going for prayers in the night, night classes, those will all come on. Night trade comes on. All this, you need to prep for that. You need to prepare for that.
No, yes, as far as I'm concerned, these children, the future of our children is the most critical.
For you?
Those who are going, yes, those who are going to school, we need to know how much are we prepared in terms of the infrastructure, the status of the infrastructure, the school, classrooms, the compound, and so on. Then the vaccination levels. Because as far as Jinja City is concerned, we have vaccinated so far a total of 77,237 people. Now,
in Jinja City?
Jinja City. Broken
77,000?
Yes.
Okay.
When you break it down, those who have taken first dose are 66,175.
So that's about 90%. 90% of the 77,000 are just on the first dose.
It's 90%, thereabout maybe. Then those ones on second dose, we have 11,062.
Fully vaccinated?
Fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Now, what is interesting is that when you look at the total number of teachers of the city, we have more or less covered everybody. Because I think
at full vaccination.
Yes, because the total the total number of teachers for primary schools that are government is 420. Then the number
and all those are vaccinated fully.
That's what this figure shows. The numbers in the government, in government secondary schools, 515. Then those numbers in private, that is private, primary and secondary, they number around 900. So that would give you a total of 1,837. 35. Now, if you compare it to the number of vaccinated, the teachers vaccinated is the total. Those who those who have taken up to the second dose.
All teachers.
Yes, second dose. 3,327.
All teachers, private and government.
Yes.
Okay.
That would mean that everybody virtually, but that's not the case because we got teachers who are migrating from the district, from other places, and so on. That as long as they are teachers, they were vaccinated. And the good news is that we still have vaccines. Moderna. Moderna is still there. The others are finished. We are yet to get more. New deliveries. So we are not doing very badly in terms of teachers who are vaccinated. But this does not mean that people will be just allowed in because of this figure. You must confirm that indeed you were vaccinated. Now, preparation means not only schools and the environment, but also the parents. We have been speaking, those who listen we are picking lessons. Parents must be prepared in terms of what is required for these children, even counseling their own children, because the counseling will be very, very, very important. The counseling of teachers, the counseling of children, now here I am trying to counsel the parents that you must do this if you want to succeed. Then the parents and the children, because some children thought that the game was over. Now we are saying you go back, you are going to go back. I hope a good parent ought to have used this Christmas season, a holiday, at this, as they eat good things and a lot of things to prepare the children. Say, yes, you are eating, or we have eaten less because we are going to pay for this and this because you are going back to school. So that is what a good parent ought to be doing to their children. So we shall follow, we shall monitor the education institutions because we want that to succeed. The ministry issued guidelines on SOPs and so on, and our teachers have undergone some sensitization workshops, and they will continue. So we hope that we shall really be prepared. We shall be found to be ready.
Okay.
But the other aspects, security as usual, police, intelligence is there. Intelligence is there. It will tell us that you see this is hard and so on and so forth, and then we look for a solution. Okay.
From drumming up for vaccination, have you also had time to move around schools? Because you're so passionate about education yourself. I just want to know whether you've had time to go around schools to actually just see. Because it's one thing to ask the teachers to go get vaccinated, to vaccinate the students, or even get the parents vaccinated. But it's also another thing to know where our children are going back. Now, you can imagine that there are people who have not crossed anywhere in a school compound for the last 2 years. And some schools have had their gates closed forever. Have you also had time to go through these schools?
Oh, yes.
To know how the classrooms look like, how the compounds look like, how all the things look like, and are they good schools that somebody can actually go back to them to study? Do they give us that environment of reopening and studying again?
Yes, they are. I have tried. I've gone to some of these schools to sample out because I want to get the real feel by myself. I don't rely on reports.
Getting reports.
No. A report can only help me to look for where to go. Now, there are those that are really ready and okay, like they call it what? Ginger, Main Street. Main Street Primary School. I just moved there without notice to the people running it, and I found it very, very impressive because I got the machine mowing the compound. The grass was being cut. Some staff were available. The classrooms were properly locked, and then the furniture, when I peeped through the windows and the doors, the furniture was intact. Now, it means that the school administration of that school, Main Street Primary School, was careful enough, was responsible enough to say, yes, we are going, we don't know when we are coming back. Let's do this. Now, but I've also been to school. We have, in Ginger City has got islands. Yes, I've not run away from water. I'm back to the water life, and I've gone there. I used to be in Buvuma, in the waters. Now, there is a Kisima 1, Kisima 2. There is a school which is in a dilapidated state.
And it's also going to reopen.
It must reopen.
It must reopen.
The school, the staff quarters are totally dilapidated.
Shambles.
It's in one of those islands. But then on the other island, Kisima 2, the school is okay, only that
the surrounding.
Yes, the community, there is a lot of
bushes around the school or
so? No. Trespass. They are suffering from trespass. Now, Nakanyonyi, there is another school called Nakanyonyi, which I've gone to watch. And then, apart from the bush, and the bush is not, they are lucky. I think the soils don't encourage tall grass. It will be just a question of slashing it, maybe in a day or two. And then it will be back to normal. Now, the point is, there are those schools that post unreadiness. Then there are those that are saying, you tennis, we shall be there.
Even if you told them
yes.
to do it tomorrow.
So, but the most important thing are the administrators of these schools. Whatever it is, they must inject in effort and finances. The private schools, the same thing. The Baganda have got a saying, so if you undertook to offer education to our children as a private education institution, please do what it takes. And in any case, they are not there because of giving just a service. They are there for profit. So they must be found to be at the level at which we expect them. They must measure up to the standard.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Mr. RCC, for Jinja. And I know you're now rushing to go back to Jinja, your city, to see what happens there.
Yeah, I must. In Ataso we say Ajay. I must say Ajay. Ajayango. I am there. Yes, but I must be there because I have read their character. Now they are but even they don't even know me. But because
they don't know you.
So because me, I hide a bit and even move through them at times walking. They do. Harasisi is a bad man. But others say, but I think what he's doing is good. So we must be there. Ajayango. Yes, we must be there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Arasisi Nyonyo from Jinja City. And of course, it is where we are. We just want to let you know that this is the very final and very last week of this year, 2021. We're still thanking God and, of course, trusting God to preserve and to keep us, preserve us from all evil and from every harm. As we also fight the pandemic of COVID-19, let's do what we can do. Get vaccinated and let's do what we can do. The reopening up of the economy in January has also caused a lot of excitement, but don't, again, be a statistic when you get excited and the economy is open for you to die. It shouldn't be open for you to die. It should be open for you.
Silly.
Exactly. You drink yourself silly. You do
You ride
very
anyhow
bad things.
because
And of course, you die in it. We shouldn't get there. But of course, the year is ending. We just want to wish you all the best and promise that we will be here throughout the week because the year is ending on Friday. We'll be here, continue serving you and talking to you from the National Public Broadcaster, UBC TV. My name is Jagenda Semakula Ziksoka. Again, Merry Christmas, good morning, and we will talk again tomorrow. Blessings.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
My name is Mulage Sahod from Tororo District. I'm so happy that I'm a lucky winner of the 10 million Uganda shillings Man After Money promotion with Airtel. I can't believe it. It's just like I've been reborn. It's the best day of my life.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV